What is up, YouTube? This is DBZ439 coming at you with another first place undefeated 4-0 deck profile, and this time it's Virtual World. I recently took this deck to my locals and I went undefeated. I'm going to quickly break down my matchups. So, round 1, I played Barrier Statue Stun. I went 2-1. Round 2, I played Eldlich Dogmatika. I went 2-0. Round 3, I played Plunder Patroll. I also went 2-0. And in the finals, I played True Draco, and that was 2-0. So, I actually, in round 1 against Barrier Statue Stun, I lost game 1. But then after that, I proceeded to go 8-0 in terms of games. I didn't drop a single game after that, so that was really good. And if you notice, all my matchups for control, and this deck kind of has trouble with control. I mean, it also has trouble with combo, but control is also, because like this deck doesn't have any like built-in spell trap negation. It has like spell trap pop with Chuche, I guess. But other than that, I played mostly control. But yeah, I'm just glad I went 4-0 with this deck. So without any further ado, let's start the deck profile with the main deck. And as always, I will have the deck list in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. So obviously we're running the standard lineup. This is like pretty like standard amongst all virtual lists. Obviously 3 Lulu searches what you need and also dumps. It's a tuner and it just starts so many of your plays. Other big tuner you play, Laolao. I really like this card in my particular build because I run more rank 6s than 3s. So, like, the fact that Laolao can bring back Laolao is insane, and then you just rank 6 and you just proceed to combo. Like, you want to have this and Lulu for your follow-up. Next up, Triple Kirin. This card is really good. Helps you go into Tzolkin with the Lulu. Just double dump is really strong. Yeah, and then for your follow-up, Jiji helps you recur Lulu or Laolao end phase. Usually Lulu, but like if you can recur like Laolao as well, that's good. So just don't forget end phase like me to use Jiji effect. So sometimes you normal summon it, sometimes you use effect. Just be cognizant and always always be aware whether or not you resolve the effect or not. And then to Nyannyan. Just another level 3 extender and recycles all of your banished stuff, even the cards you banished face down with desires, so that's really strong. No, Tao Tao, the card is okay. I might consider it if, like, I don't know if I have the space, but the deck space is actually really tight. It's really standard, so don't expect too much from the main deck. The side and the extra deck are a little bit different, but again, it's all pretty standard. So that's it for the virtual lineup. For the hand trap lineup, I opted to play 3 Nibiru. Going into this locals, it was incorrect because I played mostly control. But like in theory, like if I go to a bigger event, Nibiru is gonna help break those like combo boards because like virtual has a hard time getting through like 3 negate Appaloosa, for example. Like if they have like 2-3 negates and you don't have like the extenders, like it's just GG for you. So like, oh no pun intended with GG, but Nibiru just being able to break combo boards and just being able to like play the game, like I think is really strong. This could have easily been Imperm or Cosmic Cyclone, like going to the locals, but yeah, I just opted to go with Nibiru. Next up, really standard, Triple Ash, no need to explain. Also, being able to recycle it with Ultimaya M7 or even normal summoning it to like go rank 3 if you really, or Synchro. It's really niche, but it comes up sometimes. Last hand trap, Triple Gamma. I'm starting to see a lot of virtual players not play this card. I can see why, but because like you don't want to draw the best card in the deck, Driver. But I mean, it does like they have to like respect it in a way. Like if you Kauwloon, or if you like Lulu effect in hand and you don't have anything on field, or if you desires, granted you don't banish the brick, they have to respect it. So like, I don't know, some players are cutting it, but some players are like, oh, it's reverse psychology, so they're not gonna Lancia me like shotgun it. So, or Ash me shotgun it, but I still think it's really good. And the thing is, like, your end board is strong enough to where even if you draw through combo and like you open into few hand traps, you don't really need them. Like Shenshen, Chuche, and Crystalline should be enough, and follow up should be enough to push you through game. So like even if you have Gamma in hand mid combo, you can pitch it, and it's just you get the mileage out of it. That's it for the hand trap lineup. That's like 9 hand traps. I don't know if you include Call by the Grave, but that's also another card that I play. But yeah, onto the spells. Triple City. Card's nuts. Being able to set Chuche from deck is really good. Chuche is one of the main cards you want to end on. And then if you have Chuche plus any other dump virtual world, it's really strong. And then also being able to search this off of Lulu to set to trigger Tzolkin comes up a lot. That's another thing you got to be heads up on. There's 3 questions I always ask myself when I play Virtual World. Have I used Jiji effect end phase? Can I play around Nibiru? And do I have something to set for Tzolkin? Those are the 3 questions I always ask when I start my opening hand. So I think those are 3 pretty solid tips if you want to pick up this deck. Qinglong, really good card. Obviously this card is really good going second via Kauwloon because you can negate a Winda or Appaloosa, which comes up a lot. This came up against Barrier Statue Stun, where I turned off their Inspector Border or their Barrier Statue, so that was really good. Obviously Effect Engrave is really strong to search, and then you have to pitch on Resolution. So that's good. Okay, and then so this is standard Triple Desires, but I've seen a lot of builds that play Prosperity or Foolish Burial Goods with Metalfoes Fusion. I'm kind of interested in those because these 3 desires I like to side out if I really need to if I know I'm going second and I really need to stifle my opponent from playing the game, I'll side my desires out and I have no qualms with that. But I mean, the Desires is good. I mean, it gets you hand advantage. I try to hold on to it as long as I can. If I can combo, I'm gonna combo, and I Desires as a last resort, only. So it's a love and hate relationship. Sometimes you lose the game because of it. You banish all the cards you need, and then sometimes it puts you in awkward situations where if you don't have enough traps in deck or so on and so forth. But being able to recover with Nyannyan is really clutch. Last of the spells, we play double Etelli. It's a good extender. It doesn't let you burn your normal summon, so that's really good. And then the last Call by the Grave, I don't know if you consider this a going second card, but it is kind of reactive, so that's good. So that's it for the spells. Again, nothing too out of the ordinary, pretty standard to be honest. And then for the traps, you play double Chuche. This is pretty standard as well. I see some lists playing 3. It's not bad honestly, because being able to recycle boost level, and then always having it in deck, or if you open it, that's pretty strong as well, because then you don't have to pray for Kauwloon, but you can search off a Lulu if you really need to. Last of the gate, 1 Xuanwu for the extenders. People are saying that if they want to hit the deck, they limit Chuche, and that's a really good hit to the deck. But at the same time, the deck bricks a lot, so they might not hit it at all. I mean, the deck is good, but if you consider probability and you go into a 7 or 8 round regionals, you're sometimes just gonna get clocked by your own bricks. So they might not hit it. I mean, it's a good deck when it pops up, obviously, but it has its flaws. My last flex spot, again, it's not really spicy or anything, but or one order, because you can really play without your spell cards, and you're just gonna use your Qinglong effect engrave anyway. So, and it's just auto win against some matchups. So that's it for the main. Let's go on to the extra. Obviously, MVP Shenshen put in so much work, especially against True Draco and Eldlich Dogmatika, banishing all their spells and traps, banishing their lords. This card's nuts. You just need the one because it can recycle itself. It's a generic, so a lot of decks can play it, but it does affect you. But as a virtual player, you don't care if you banish your stuff, because you can use Shenshen's other effect to recur your banished stuff, so that's good. The other level 9 that we play, Vermillion Dragon Mech for going second, and then for the awkward hand that you open, Lili plus Qinglong, you can still play, because you can banish the Lulu, pop the Mech, and then get back your Lulu, and then use Lulu to target the Qinglong, and then you can search Jiji and start playing. You'll be playing into Nibiru, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Then we played the Crystal Wing package, the 1 Tzolkin and the 1 Crystal Wing. This is the ideal end board. When I first picked up the deck, I was thinking that I should go Caliga, Crystal Wing, but that was incorrect. Like Shenshen is the best card in the deck, hands down. So you have to like your end board should be like Crystalline Shenshen, and like it just gives you a follow up even if they break the board somehow. Like Shenshen's coming back. Another thing I was hesitant about building like Shenshen plus Crystal Wing was it is vulnerable to like Super Poly because they can go like Muddy Mud Dragon or Mud Dragon of the Swamp. But Super Poly kind of phased out of the format, so I don't really worry about that as much. But like ideal end board is like Crystal Wing, Shenshen, Chuche, and follow up. So yeah, onto the Synchro sixes. The one Jiujiu. This card is really good, especially for breaking like this in tandem with this is really good. But you want to go into this first before you go into this because you need to have material engrave. And if you sync for this while you're under this, your material is just gonna get banished. So you have to like this deck always like it rewards the player that's always like 10 steps ahead and like kind of can predict stuff. So like I definitely misplayed a lot, but yeah, but Jiujiu plus Shenshen is really good because essentially like target banish, and yeah, it's really good. And then like some like backroad decks can't deal with cannot be destroyed battle card effects. That's really strong. For the other sixes, one Stardust Charge Warrior for the +1 because the deck does pitch a lot. Another +1 6 is Coral Dragon. And the last 6 is the Money Mud Dragon. And I run the only one Caliga for the fusion target. I do have Dragoons. I was thinking if I should play it or not. So a couple of problems with Dragoons. I mean, it's like a problem and not a problem because when you fuse into Dragoons, you're not going to get the pops because you didn't fuse with the vanillas. But what's really good about Dragoons, well, another thing about the deck in particular is like you have to pitch a card. So that's not ideal because you kind of lose a lot of hand advantage unless you have the follow-up. But the best thing about Dragoons in this particular deck is, like I said, this deck doesn't have any built-in spell trap negation. So, like, if they evenly match you and you don't have Dragoons, you basically have to banish everything except for your Shenshen because you want that to hit grave and you can recycle it. But yeah, that's the one main reason why I was considering Dragoons. But right now I'm just playing the Caliga because sometimes Shenshen Crystalling isn't correct. Sometimes you want to go Caliga Crystal Wing, like especially against decks like Phantom Knights or Drytron, because they just boss to the wall combo with monster effects. So that's correct. Onto our XZs for the rank 6 Ptolemy. This card is really good for the follow up. Be able to recycle your Lulu or Laolao or your hand traps. Like if you're running like blowout hand traps like Droll or Ash, some decks like can't like if they stifle you, then you just stifle them back. Which is really good. Fan, really good card. Being able to ban like you Jiujiu first, get rid of a card, then you rank 6 into this, get rid of 2 other cards. Really strong against like Eldlich or like Sky Strikers. That's really good. Also, if it gets popped by battle or card effect, like being able to float is really strong. One Utopia Beyond. This card is really good because for Charger, and Zeus. So the idea for Utopia Beyond is it outs Dragoons, but its effect to like make everything 0 doesn't detach material. So if you rank 6 into this, it has 2 material, then you go into Charger, and then you can go into Sky Thunder. So then now Zeus has 2 board wipes. So that's why I really like Utopia Beyond. And again, I'm not really big on the rank 3 package, so the only one I'm running is a Break Sword. You'll see a lot of the people play like Gossip Shadow or like Fortune Tune. I'm not big on that. I mean, it's up to player preference, honestly. This deck is so versatile, but again, my deck is pretty cookie cutter, so like, take it as you wish. But yeah, I like the one Break Sword, being able to pop your Qinglong after you like negate like a Winda or a Appaloosa, and then you pop like another card, and then now you can use Qinglong effect and Gray, so that's really strong. That's it for the extras. Quickly go on to the side. So for the side, triple Droll and Lock. This is primarily for like combo decks. I could main this, but I mean like this is mostly for Drytron. So Drytron, and then Heroes is gonna come up with what's it called with the Burst of Destiny support. So I think Droll is a pretty good side card. Next up, again, like I said. Big boards are hard to break for this deck, so like if they have like 3 negates, you want to deal with that with Dark Lord No More. So I think this is correct as well. It was Lancia. I could swap between this and Lancia. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, Dark Lord No More does put in a lot of work. Again, I think I should have made this instead of Nibiru in hindsight, because I didn't play a lot of combo. I played a lot of back row, so this went in games 2 a lot. So that's really good. Also for back row, I don't see a lot of players playing this, but this card is just a blowout card, and it's just so strong against like back row decks or like even like combo decks like Virtual World that don't end on spell trap negate. So evenly matched is still really strong. And then for the last of the 3 ofs, anti-spell. In addition to the order in the main, this card can set to trigger Tzolkin, and it just like slows down opponents. So it's really strong in my opinion. Alright guys, that's it for the deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys really like the content, please consider liking and subscribing. It really inspires me to like continue to make quality content. And if this video gets to 100 likes, I'm going to do a test hand / combo tutorial for you guys. So, and I think that's really interesting for this deck, being able to like look at your hand and be like, how can I end on a good board under Nibiru, for example. So if you guys want to see that, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and making sure the video reaches 100 likes. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and have a nice day.